Hey, what's going on? It's your boy D from DNC Digital back with another Instagram Live on the road to Mission Pro Wrestling. Wishes granted. Hope everybody's having a good night. I want to thank everybody who joined in last night when I talked to mentalist Ryan Edwards. Tonight, we're going to be talking to the homie, Promise Braxton. Promise Braxton is going to be competing in a triple threat match against Black Widow and Masha Slamovich. I spoke to Masha late last week on Instagram Live, and I am really seeing what's going on and what happens. KD Illusionist, what's going on, buddy? Miss Braxton coming in, just waiting for her. And we're going to be talking about a lot of cool stuff, what's been going on with her, including her recent title win for Reality of Wrestling. Promise, you there? There we go.
What's up?
How you doing?
Fine.
You good? All right.
I'll sit back.
All right, Promise, how you been?
I'm good. How you been?
Good, good. That sweater looks dope. All right, who's on the sweater?
Aaliyah, of course.
Oh, it's beautiful. Oh, man, Aaliyah is a sad, sad story, but such a talented. Is she one of your favorite, like, R&B artists from that era?
Yeah, I have 3 Aaliyah tattoos.
Do you really? I didn't know that.
I have her portrait on my right forearm. I have the Try Again lyrics right here.
Nice.
And I have there was like a certain A she had on her last album, and I have that on the back of my neck.
So Try Again was probably one of her biggest songs on the Romeo Must Die soundtrack. What other songs really resonated with you? Maybe one that's not as popular. Maybe an album cut or B-side song.
It's crazy you say that because my favorite song by her, like it's like almost unknown by most people. It's a cover to the Isley Brothers, Choosy Lover.
I never heard that.
It's so good. It's so good. Yeah, listen to it.
An Isley Brother cover by Aaliyah? I gotta hear that.
It's my favorite song in the entire world.
I gotta say mine would be I Care For You. I think if that doesn't resonate with you, I'm sorry. But
I like it. It's just too sweet. Sometimes I want to feel like a thug.
That's what I'm saying. It captures how sweet she is. It captures like that. That's like 90s R&B. Like
Yes.
I Care For You, you know.
Yeah.
So you know what? Let's talk about some 90s R&B. I know you were always down and always dope, and I always loved talking to you. And music is dope. So, what would you say if there was another attempt for like a 90s R&B male group? Would you accept that, or would you just say it's not what it used to be?
No, it's not. It's not it.
Is there anybody in R&B now that you feel is still holding on to that kind of energy?
Besides like the B2K guys, no one does that anymore. You know,
I'm trying to think of anybody, but I guess Miguel. If you listen to Miguel, he has an artsy kind of way of doing this music, and it's admirable. But damn, I mean, if you go back and you look at, man, who was it? It was Immature, Boyz II Men, Drew Hill, Jagged Edge. That was like, I remember As Yet, that song Last Night by As Yet.
I never knew the name of like the artist, but I know the song.
It's like Last Night, na na na. Oh my God, they don't do it like that.
I think it's just like times change. You know, music has changed like drastically from R&B to the 90s to an R&B song now. It's so vulgar. They say so many cuss words now. Like back in the like, you ever hear of what song is that? Rope Burn by If by Janet Jackson.
No, I haven't heard that.
Like Faye Jackson came out to it before. It's called If by Janet Jackson, and she says some of the most like sexual things, but she never really says it like to the point where you can like sing it and you'd be like, wait, hold up, like did I just
like what am I singing along to?
But but nowadays songs like they just say it. It's just so many cuss words and
I think we sound now that we're getting to this age and this kind of evolution of music, R&B and hip hop. I'm not a big fan of what they're doing now.
Mhm.
We sound like the earlier generation when we were listening to it. You know, like it's when we were listening to it and bumping it, they're like, it's not what it used to be. Hip hop's not what it used to be, and now we sound like that generation. Look at those awesome. All right, so MD Tate, Drew Hill, and Silk.
I love
Mr. Bridges with Jodeci. Man, we gotta. Jeez, imagine just a road trip listening to old '90s R&B groups. It would just be awesome. But Miss Promise Braxton, the reason we are here is because we're going to talk about Mission Pro Wrestling Wishes Granted. You are part of the first triple threat match. And as much as I love you, a triple threat match is always different because I feel like you got a wild card in that third competitor. You can probably put your opponent down for the 1, 2, 3, but you got the other competitor coming in to break up the pin. You have Masha Slamovich coming all the way from Russia, and you got Black Widow, who is talented herself. As soon as you saw that you were booked for this match, what kind of strategy did you start to draw up?
I mean, I'm not sure if you know, but I won my Diamonds title in
Yes.
that match.
Yes.
So obviously, I know that I have to have eyes in the back of my head. Use their strengths to their own disadvantage.
Okay.
So I can't tell you how I'm going to win, but just know I'm going to win.
Right. You're going to walk in with that beautiful, beautiful belt. Reality of Wrestling Diamonds champion. You beat Roxy, who was the youngest and longest reigning Diamonds champion of the promotion. And, man, so I want to talk about that for a while because that seemed like such a big moment. A shout out to Bryant Photography for capturing some awesome, awesome pictures. Bryant, we love you. And, you're just such a talented dude. But those moments were definitely captured, and they're going to live on forever. So the 1, 2, 3 goes down, and I know this may sound like a cliche question, but when you were sitting there with that belt in your hands, what was going through your head?
Yeah, a lot, honestly. Like, it was, like 2, 3 days before that my grandma passed away.
Oh, I'm sorry, Promise.
A whole bunch of, no, it's all good. But it was just like a whole bunch of like emotions. And it was just like, finally, like, you know, when like, I don't think people understand, like, when we wrestle, it's like a big chunk of our lives. And it's just like it's a commitment. And sometimes, like, people, especially I can speak for myself when I say, like, you question it sometimes. Like, yo, am I doing the right thing? So, like, for it to happen, it was like, thank God, like, I am doing the right thing. Like, I am doing what I'm supposed to be doing. So,
What was your grandmother aware of your career, and how did she feel about it?
she was my, I think, great grandma. She's my great grandma.
Okay.
She was older,
Okay.
so it wasn't like nothing too crazy. Like, she didn't like get murdered or like, you know, die of like.
No.
But she thought it was nuts. They all think I'm nuts on the side of the family. They think it's so cool, but they're just like, then they watch it and they're just like this the whole time.
Somebody is asking for you to defend your title against Vanity in 2021. That would be a hell of a match. So Promise, and I don't mean to take it to a touchy subject, but we've already known each other. We've already known each other for a long time, and you have always been very vocal about equality. You've done a couple other podcasts with me, and you've been a guest on my podcast, other subjects, and not just wrestling. And you've always been about Black Lives Matter. What do you feel about the platform you have now as a champion and your level of representation for young African American girls?
It's finally, I feel like I can be myself, you know. You already know, we already had the conversations, and we go way back. Like, I never really fit in. I kind of always did my own thing. So, like, to be that Black girl, like that, like the Black sheep, the outcast, and they see me and they see themselves, they see someone. I don't care if everyone hates my outfit. If I think I look good, no one can tell me a goddamn thing. You know, so it's just to have that confidence in yourself. It's truly an honor to have that platform to give people that hope that they can just do whatever they want to do, whether their mom like it, their daddy like it. You know, if whatever you believe in like it, you just do it because it makes you happy and you're not hurting anybody.
When you win a title, it's the pressure's off as far as the chase goes. But now you need to solidify yourself as a worthy champion. Can you talk about that added layer of pressure now that you're on top of the mountain and you have a target on your back?
I mean, at first, it's weird because it's like things never really changed with me.
Okay.
It's like you fight to get to the top, and then when you're on top, you still got to fight to stay on top. So
right.
So it's just looking at it from a different perspective. And now I have something that they all want. Danny B, you know, Rachel Rose, Roxy, Jen Lynn, and then sometimes they're bringing in the other girls, Maddie, Jasmine, Bert. So it's a lot of pressure. But at the same time, I'm not really worried.
Promise is too groovy for that pressure to mess up the vibes. How about the company itself? How do you feel about the trust that they put into you to give you that opportunity to be champion?
It's an absolute honor. I love reality wrestling. Like, that is my home. That is what I represent since coming down to Texas. And then having, like, the girls who've had the title, Hayan, Roxy, Kylie Ray, AQA. Like, those are some of the biggest women wrestlers I don't know, they inspire me all so much, all of them. So to be in that same category, it's like, I'm with the big dogs. Like, it's cool. Super cool.
Even though they're all gunning after something that's around your waist and over your shoulder, was there a small moment in the back after you walked to the back, maybe a whole congratulatory, you know, a handshake, a fist bump by the other ladies?
One thing I can say about all the diamonds, none of them are haters. They all respect me as a wrestler. They all respected my win.
That's awesome. I know you. Damn. And the funny thing is that we got cool because we were promoting Hell Hath No Fury, and then I was able to start going to the shows. And for everybody watching, Promise Braxton has also been a guest on a couple of my podcasts where we went through a whole tournament of horror movies, and we just decided who went into the next round, and there was a lot of debates, a lot of subtle backstabbing, but it was a lot of fun, and I want to thank you for that time.
No problem.
So now Thunder Rosa called you up and said, we need you back. What does that say about the longevity and the impact that Promise Braxton leaves on a show and on a company?
I don't know. I guess, I don't know. I wanted to come back so bad. I did, but, I understand business is business. So right. Finally got the call. It was like, finally. I'm like, finally. And then I thought it was going to be a tag match. And then it was like, it's a singles match. So I'm like, okay. Then it's like, no, it's a triple threat match. And it's like, okay, it's like anything else? Like, so it was cool that, like, I got that trust that I could stand on my own 2 feet in this match. And then to take someone, basically two girls who have completely different styles.
Right.
And kind of, like, insert me into that, into that equation. So it's like, that's a lot of trust. So...
What kind of conversations have you had with Thunder as far as your performance goes, and what did that first show feel like? Because I know it was a very important show.
I'm not really in contact with Thunder Rosa too much. She's busy,
Yeah, of course.
I understand that. So I get most of my information through Jazz.
Okay.
So, I did a seminar with her. and you know, we got really close through there. And then I did I did a show with up there in SEW, and they were glad to have me back. You know, and great that I'm happy to be there.
Talk about Jazz, because I also got the chance to like get cool with her these past couple months, and for me it's still kind of surreal because I really did grow up watching her at a certain point, and we even like at the last show we sat down for a while, we had a long conversation, and she was just telling me how much she appreciates my support, and I'm like, you're Jazz, why are you thanking me? Like, you're the badass. And I started going down all her list of accomplishments because you know how I am with the research. But talk about your relationship with Jazz. What does it mean to you to have somebody so important in the history of women's wrestling by your side?
I see my homegirl, Charity Kane, watching this. And
Hey, what's going on, Charity?
And I'm going to tell you something.
Okay.
Every African American family has that cool black auntie. like that's like this just cool, just like things that you can't tell your mama, like that's the person you tell, just always there for you, comes to all your games, all your events, just, and that's the vibe I get from her. Just so supportive, like just gives so much love, gives so much feedback. Like she's here because she wants to be here, not because she has to be here.
Right. Yeah.
You know, because I'm pretty sure she got a million things to do. She's a mom. She's a wife. She's just a great woman, and we got close through Mission Pro Wrestling, and I love her to death. Like and it's almost so surreal because it's like I watch her on TV, and I'm just like, but you're literally one phone call away.
Like when we were setting up like the whole run of the promotions and the Instagram lives, I was like, hey, would it be okay to talk to Jazz? And they're like, that's a great idea. So I reached out to her, and we were just messaging back. And then she's like, you know what? I'm not on social media too much. Here's my number. And I was like, okay, sure. And then she's like, just text me whenever you want. And I'm like, are you sure? Like, it's cool? Like, I don't want to. You're Jazz. I don't want to mess you up and interrupt anything. I don't want to get you upset at me. When you talk about the cool aunt in every African American family, I have two cool aunts that I remember growing up. I worked at Kmart and I worked at a doctor's office, and in both jobs, I had this tall, you know, with all due respect, but she was a large black woman, and they just gave the best hugs. They were like, come here, baby. And I'm like, yes, come here.
Love, so much love.
Oh, my God. And they would just like, they would just bear hug me, and I loved it. And they would bring me food, and I'm like, oh, my God, I love you so much. And then at the doctor's office, I would always just break out the electric slide with the ones that worked there. But there was just so much support, and I'm loving it. And you have my full support, promise. You know that we've been so cool for a long time. What's one thing I did want to talk about is Mission Pro Wrestling, and I know that every position is held by a woman. And what do you think about the noise that they're making now? Because the last time we spoke, they were just getting started with their rebranding and the relaunch, and it was just like ripples in the water. But now they're making a lot of noise with what they're trying to do for women in pro wrestling, as far as having a safe environment and making sure that they feel comfortable in the locker room. After everything that's gone on in the last year of wrestling and in society, how do you think Mission Pro Wrestling is chugging along as we keep on having these shows and making all this noise?
I think Mission Pro is doing an excellent job. You know, I think this is the prime example of women getting along without egos. You know, there's a lot of women who have resumes a list long, you know, and they're all coming together and they're all working together to get the next generation ready. And, you know, the first show happened, the second show happened, and it's like, okay, these shows are happening and they're all relevant.
Right.
They're all selling out. People want to see these girls, you know, and it gave, you know, 3 girls opportunities. You know, it gave, you know, Jasmine, like shout out to Jasmine, Maddie, you know, and Bert. You know, they're on AEW, and that's great. It's absolutely phenomenal. So, you know, without Mission Pro Wrestling, without, you know, these women who are mature, you know, people can put their, like, egos aside, you know, and work together. So it's great. It's a great environment. It's such a great work environment.
Now I know that you are, and you're very open about being a plant-based athlete.
Yeah.
And so I would like to know, and when all your travels and you're doing shows and everything, is it difficult to find stuff for your diet, or is it something that you prepare for when you go on the road?
I'm kind of like, I've been the pickiest eater since I was 0. Like I've never liked anything. So like,
you've never liked? I'm sorry.
I've never liked anything.
You've never liked anything.
Like.
So it'd be tough to have you over for dinner at my house then.
Like, even though I'm plant-based, I don't like tomatoes, I don't like onions, I don't like peppers, I don't like mushrooms. Like,
you don't like onions?
No.
Onions are the best.
No.
Onions are great. Do you eat cereal?
I eat cereal.
Okay, milk first or cereal first?
The cereal. Come on.
Exactly. Thank you. Do you
Okay.
know that there are people who do milk first?
You almost scared me for a second. I thought you were about to say.
Stefan Johnson voiceovers. S. Johnson voiceovers. That is my boy. He's been blowing up. He's a talented voiceover artist, but he does milk first, and I don't understand how that even works.
It splashes. Like, it's gonna splash. Like,
I don't even know how much milk to put if I don't have my cereal in there.
yeah, that's a good point. That's way too much.
He says he does it like 3/4 of the way. I'm like, no, that's weird.
First.
Okay, so I'm sorry, go on. You're a very picky eater. You don't like a lot of vegetables that sound like they're in a lot of vegan plant-based diets. So what is it that you eat?
I eat a lot of tofu.
Okay.
Quinoa, whole bunch of rice, whole bunch of oats.
I love rice.
I like green vegetables like lettuce, spinach, broccoli, peas. I don't like Brussels sprouts, but the cool ones. So, and I stock up on like protein shakes, fruit. It's real simple. It's not even that hard.
So it sounds like it's just fruit and grains and green vegetables.
Mm-hmm.
Only green vegetables.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a visual thing for you, or is that your greens, just like that? Your little greens.
I get freaked out when I lemon stuff I don't like even touches my plate. It's just like I can't.
So is there any place you go out to eat, or is it all homemade?
There's this place. It's called Soul Food Vegan. It's in Houston. It's super good.
Vegan soul food. You see, I need to. I've had one night of soul food. I remember that. I will never forget that night. That was just. I love going to other people's houses and just seeing how they eat and their traditions and their customs, and because I want to learn about the world. You know, I've eaten with an Italian family and I almost died of a heart attack. I've eaten with an Indian family and did the whole, pillow on the floor with like the table's this much off the floor, and
that's so cool.
Yeah, and I remember like, hey, where are the forks? And my buddy's like, go for it, bro, no forks. And I was like, wow, all right, so I guess we're just doing this then. Miss Promise Braxton, Viva Flames says Cinnamon Toast Crunch. That may be one of the best cereals out there. What's your favorite? Is that Cinnamon Toast Crunch?
I like Lucky Charms. I'm a kid.
Yes, I love Lucky Charms. I'm a big Lucky Charm guy, and I like Frosted Flakes with like extra sugar.
That's the point.
That's the way I do it. What's that?
It already has sugar on it, though.
That's not real sugar. Miss Promise Braxton, we're gonna play a game called Would You Rather, and I must warn you that these are ridiculous situations. All right, but this should be fun. Now it's not only like Would You Rather. Okay, it's called Which Would You Pick. All right.
Okay.
So I'm gonna choose. I'm gonna choose the top cards from this, and they are two very ridiculous sentences that you probably wouldn't have heard ever in your life. So now, not only pick your choice, but I want you to explain why.
Okay.
All right. So, no, I'm not gonna do that one. Hold on. Okay. Would you? Oh, wow, that worked out perfectly. Would you rather have toes for fingers, or would you rather have fingers for toes? Depends if you go to the beach, right?
They're both ugly.
They're both so
They're
weird.
both ugly. Just. I'd rather have. Damn.
I'm gonna go with fingers for toes, and just never take my shoes off in public.
I gotta agree because, but like, it's hard to walk though. Like, because our fingers don't bend that way like our toes do.
But can you imagine the agility that we would have? We can grab onto things.
Yeah, you couldn't grab with the toes.
We would have opposable thumbs like the primates, like our species cousins. I would think so.
Ew.
Just never take your shoes off.
I mean, at that point, you might as well grow a tail.
All right. Would you rather have an incurable itch between your toes, or this is so weird, armpits full of sticky honey?
Yeah.
You see, this is when you think about like existing. You know, these are very, very personal questions.
I guess I'll just take that itch.
You'll take the itch?
Yeah, because like you need your shoulders for stuff.
These are just weird cards. I gotta skip a lot of these.
That was a weird question. I've never thought
These
of
are just weird questions. Okay. All right. This sounds cool. Would you rather fight off 20 duck-sized unicorns every time you go to the restroom, or would you fight off a horse-sized swan every time you go to the restroom? Either 20 duck-sized unicorns, so unicorns the size of like these little things, or just one big-ass swan, and you need to go to the restroom.
I'm gonna mess that duck up. I'm gonna just start swinging. I gotta go to the bathroom. You gotta get out of my way. I'd rather fight.
Oh, these are weird. Give me 1 second. I got one more weird.
All right.
Okay, my daughter bought that game, and it's just weird. I have these. I have two more games. I have this one called 3,000 Questions About Me. You can find it at Target, and it makes you think about a lot of things. So I'm just gonna pick any question. Did you ever fail a subject in school? If so, what class?
Oh man, you're trying to expose.
That was a random one.
Trying to expose my secrets. Yes, I have. I know I'm a bad person.
You're a bad person. Don't say you're a bad person.
It was chemistry.
Oh, chemistry? Man, who uses chemistry in life?
It just did not click. Like it did not make sense, and it still doesn't make sense.
It still doesn't make sense?
No, like it just like physics, like chemistry, none of that stuff makes sense to me. I just don't have that.
Oh, this is good. Have you ever invented a really unique meal or drink? Like, what's your secret? Like, I have a secret ramen recipe. That type of thing. Nothing? Nothing with rice and Lucky Charms mixed in a...
like I'm real picky.
Oh, that's right. You are real picky. Okay, what is your weirdest trait?
As far as what?
Just the weirdest characteristic about yourself that you can admit that it's weird.
I think I'm weird in general. Everything.
Just weird in general?
I think I'm a strange person.
If you had a superpower of your choice, what would it be?
I would clone myself.
You would clone yourself? How many times?
At least 10.
At least.
At least 10. At least 10.
And what would those clones do? What are their jobs?
Well, they say all millionaires have 8 streams of income, so 8 would have a job. I would sit at home, and one would work out for me.
One would work out?
Yeah.
One would work out for you.
And then when we all come together, you know, I take the money, I got the body, and I didn't do anything.
Okay. So this is going to be fun. I have horror trivia.
Oh, my God.
Now, this has to be good. You got to kill it in this, promise.
What you got for me?
What is the name of the girl who is possessed in the movie The Exorcist?
Emily.
Emily, no.
What is it?
Reagan? Reagan.
I
don't know.
That was Emily.
Oh, these are easy. Who is the actual father in the movie Rosemary's Baby?
It's Satan, ain't it?
No, the father of the baby in Rosemary's Baby. Oh, I'm sorry. You said Satan. You said Satan, right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I thought I heard something else.
That was Satan.
What is the name of the camp in the first installment of Friday the 13th?
Camp Crystal Lake.
Beautiful. I don't know if you've ever seen this one. I'm not familiar with this. What is the name of the demon group summoned by the puzzle box in the movie Hellraiser?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know that one. Okay. A group of young people are guided to an abandoned radioactive area in Russia. In what 2012 film?
It's something Chronicle. It has Jesse McCartney in it. I forget the.
I got Chernobyl Diaries.
It's another movie like that. It's about like radiation and stuff like that. You're like
Yeah. I don't know if anybody saw that movie.
I've seen it. It's okay.
It's alright?
It's okay. Nothing special.
I'll do one last one. I'm trying to look for a good one. Who is also known as the Mistress of the Dark?
The Undertaker.
It was Elvira. You don't remember those Elvira, those TV specials? She has the big hair and she's, smart. You got to check that out. Miss Promise Braxton, the Diamonds champion, on top of the mountain in reality of wrestling. Miss Promise, I wish you the best. I know you won that title in a triple threat match, so I'm not too worried about you.
Exactly.
It's going to be February 6th, everybody, in Buddha, Texas, streaming live on the Title Match Network. It is Mission Pro Wrestling, wishes granted. I am a proud sponsor. I'm even wearing one of my sponsor shirts from Tournament Out of Hell. And that company is just stuck with me. I'm going to sponsor as much as I can because they're doing a lot of good things, including having Promise Braxton on their next show. So, Miss Promise Braxton, where else can they find you on social media?
You can find me here on Facebook. Well, sorry, me here on Instagram at Promise_Braxton, Facebook Promise Braxton, and my Twitter _Rebel Buddhist.
That's right. I like that new handle, by the way. I like the Rebel Buddhist. Is that the new tagline for you when you come out? The Rebel Buddhist Promise Braxton?
I've been coming out with it, but I haven't really been pushing it because the name was taken on Twitter. So
nice.
I couldn't really take the name as far as I wanted to because Twitter's the biggest platform to me.
Right.
So when it was available again, I was like, finally.
It's down. It's going down. Can we talk about the little project that you mentioned, or is it something that people just need to wait for?
Yeah, wait for it.
All right.
Yeah,
Just know that something big is coming up for Promise Braxton. And I wish you the best of luck. You know, I love you. You're the best friend. And everybody, have a great night and take care of yourselves.
Peace out.